Fuck you, Time Dot is, trying to throw me off, make me look like an idiot. Editor Nate already, and I'm just going to go ahead and skip through 90 seconds of me failing to do an introduction.
Okay, so let me do the intro. So, this is Words About Books. I'm Ben. He's Nate.
God
and we're
damn
talking
it, you're
about...
right. It's on Peacock.
I
Fuck.
know I'm right. So, we're talking about One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. I don't really know a ton about Karen M. McManus. I know that One of Us is Lying was her debut novel. I know that she started writing after her husband died.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
was
I know
there
that
a conspiracy on her husband dying and like she had to solve a mystery?
No. I think it was just one of those terrible tragedies.
Oh. Well, she spawned a career out of it, because holy shit, she's got a lot written.
She has kind of turned the One of Us is Lying thing into a bit of an empire. She makes a living from her writing. She no longer has a day job. And, of course, it turned into a teen drama series, and this is very much a teen drama mystery, I guess. It's very soap opera-y. It's very much in the vein of like 90210.
What
Party
if
of
Breakfast
Five.
Club, but the basket case died?
Kind of. There's a lot of the tropes. There's a jock. There's a nerd. There's, I guess the pretty girl.
Popular, yeah.
Yeah. And then the drug dealer. The bad boy sexy man from the wrong side of the tracks who unfortunately is named Nate.
Yeah, he was part of the Breakfast Club as well.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, he wasn't Emilio Estevez. He was the other guy. Okay,
Yes,
look, the Breakfast
the
Club was
other
before
guy.
my time. And we just need to stop talking about the Breakfast Club because I'm done with Ernest Cline
You
and
got
all of
you
his
got Tony,
shitty 80s movie.
You got Lucky. You got Captain Crunch.
Are those actual names?
Yeah, you got Count Chocula.
What are you talking about?
The Breakfast Club, Ben.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah,
Okay.
Toucan Sam.
So I believe One of Us is Lying was your pick.
Yeah, that was my pick. You're right, Ben. I think our old pal Goodreads suggested it in a list, and I was like, I could read something young adult related, I guess, and it looks like a popular series, so why not? And it'll be an easy read, which it was.
Yeah, it was maybe, unfortunately, a little too easy of a read. I think we both solved the mystery in chapter 1.
Yeah.
And many of the other mysteries in the book as well. There's a few things to figure out along the way. There's a lot of twists and turns. And probably the most misleading thing about the entire book is the title, One of Us is Lying. They're all lying. Yeah, they're all lying.
Maybe
I was
like
sitting there trying to figure out which one of them is lying.
On the ground, dying. Like one of us
Yeah.
is lying and choking to death on his throat rapidly closing. Maybe that's it.
Well, that sounds bad, but you're going to learn he really, really had it coming.
Yeah. You learned from the very beginning that this guy was just a big piece of shit.
Okay, so we got... let's see if I can remember their names, because this is a Detective Ben mystery.
Oh my god. I hope you can. I can.
Okay, well, that's nice for you. Okay, I've got things to do. So we have Bronwyn, the nerd. She is... All of these kids are rich except Nate. Bronwyn is a nerd. She is bound for Yale. She is like a goody two-shoes. She's done everything she's supposed to do. She never gets in trouble. Then there is Cooper.
Yeah.
Cooper is from the South. He recently moved to Bayside, which I don't know if that is a real town in California.
It sounds like a real town.
It sounds like Angel Grove or Sunnydale or any of the other...
Bayside, city in California. Got it.
So we got Bronwyn the nerd. We got Cooper. Cooper's the jock. Cooper is a big baseball player from the South. He tries to hide his accent because all the cool kids in California don't like people from the South.
I mean, good on them, right?
Cooper is actually very good at baseball. He's being scouted by the majors. He's probably going to go right into the major leagues. He's got the token baseball dad who's pushing him way too hard and living all of his vicarious dreams through Cooper.
Come on, Denver. Get the lead out. Do not cross the bat, Dad.
Then we've got Nate, the bad boy from the wrong side of the tracks. Nate deals drugs.
Oh, my God.
And he wears leather jackets.
It's like weed and amphetamine, I think.
And he rides a
Adderall
motorcycle.
And marijuana.
Yeah, I don't know what he deals, but he deals the kind of stuff.
I just told you,
Ben. Are you sure he deals Adderall and marijuana?
I know he deals marijuana, and I'm like pretty sure he deals in Adderall.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that tells you something about when this book was written, because you can just DoorDash marijuana in California now.
Yeah, but not when you're a minor.
No, I guess not when you're a minor. Yeah, now you just have to get some guy to buy it for you.
Yeah.
So Nate is dealing the kind of drugs that you can just take a vacation from dealing. You can just say, like, hey, guys, I'm not dealing drugs anymore, so don't give me any more drugs.
Yeah. And they're cool with that. They're really cool drug dealers, actually.
There's PTO. Well, not PTO, because he's hard up for money, but there's unpaid leave.
Yeah. They definitely don't come looking for you after a while.
No, and especially not after they hear you got arrested and let go. And what are you talking about?
Yeah. Good for Nate.
But after Nate, there is Addie. Addie is the pretty popular girl, and she is dating Jake, and that is going to be very important.
Is she rich? I mean, I know she has a nice house, but her mom does not seem put together.
Her mom is a trophy wife. So she
multi-time trophy wife, I think.
Yeah, so she lives in like a nice house, but none of it's hers.
Okay.
So it could all be taken from her at any moment. And I think that's the 4 main kids.
Yeah. And then who's our daddy?
4. Okay, and our daddy, is it Simon?
Yeah, it is.
Not to be confused with the vampire best friend from Mortal Instruments.
No.
This Simon
also
is
wears
a nerd.
Glasses and is also a nerd. But he's
they
far less likable.
Yeah, they could be played by the same actor. But this guy is
Radcliffe.
A sociopath. And he runs an app. And that app is like a gossip magazine for the school where he posts horrible rumors that are always true. That's the important thing. His goal is to make sure that everybody has up-to-date gossip on everybody's secrets in Bayside. And he never gets caught, even though literally everybody knows he runs this app.
Yeah.
And this constitutes, like, I think a few cybercrime violations.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't...
I was thinking of Paul Tremblay's book. We were covering Head Full of Ghosts, and he's a teacher, and there were he cited a bunch of bullying laws that I pretty sure did not exist when I was in school, and I'm pretty sure would get Simon, like, he would be totally fucked because everyone knows he's the one who runs the app and puts all the information up, and he brags about it.
Yeah. And the author, I'll talk a little bit about her computer literacy, but it's plausible enough. It's plausible enough. If somebody really wanted to throw the book at this kid, they could, but it's plausible that he has avoided prosecution.
Instead of throwing the book at him, throw like several fists and kicks.
That's
his
the more
eyes
implausible
and groin.
portion of the book is that nobody has just taken Simon out back and crushed his hands.
Yeah, no one has beaten Simon and said, if you post any more shit, we're coming for you again, motherfucker.
Yeah, because the kind of stuff he posts, we'll eventually find out. I'm telling this a little bit out of order, but just to give you an idea of how sleazy this dude is. he posts a thing about a girl who has been dealing with leukemia like her entire life, going to a party and kissing a guy just to like ruin her life, even though like, you know, she didn't really do anything wrong, and she's a leukemia kid. So
my first highlight is a sex tape, a pregnancy scare, 2 cheating scandals, and that's just this week's update. Like, he's really needlessly mean, and he posts a sex tape. I don't know if he actually posted. I can't believe he posted the actual tape, because that would be child pornography. That would be child. Yeah. There's a lot of laws against that. There's a lot of laws. He is the worst fucking person, and nobody except maybe his parents are going to mourn him.
I got to imagine, like, they're just as bad.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Yeah. Anyway, so all of these kids wind up in detention. They wind up in detention because they have cell phones in class. And there's this one teacher that's a real stickler about that. But here's the catch, guys. None of those cell phones belong to the kids. They're all fake cell phones or burner phones or something like that. And all the kids are like, yeah, those aren't our phones. So you could just, you know, let us go. Like, you can keep the phones.
No.
Somebody
instead,
planted them on us.
You are going to write a 10-page paper on how cell phones are ruining all of society and education.
Did you ever have detention?
I did once.
Did you ever have to write anything in detention?
No, I had to clean desks with a weird warm chemical that they brewed up in the back.
Oh, yeah. See, like, I didn't do shit. There's no way I'm writing that 10-page paper.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
Yeah.
What's my grade for this? My detention class? You fucking idiot.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a car crash outside, and it makes big noise, and it distracts everybody. And the teacher's like, you all sit here. I'm going to go investigate. And he leaves the kids alone in the room.
And I hope nothing bad happens because I'm responsible. Okay, bye.
I'm just going to... So, Simon then starts walking around. He gets a cup of water from like a styrofoam cup in the corner of the room.
Because his water bottle was stolen, Ben.
It was stolen. He always carries a water bottle with him, and it was stolen. And he
very
drinks this
dramatically he comes to says he tells them what each stereotype is that they have, but Simon, he is the omniscient narrator. And immediately I start wondering, Simon killing himself?
Yeah, that's a really grandiose thing for a guy to say right before he dies. And like if he didn't, he really seems to know he's about to die. And like, I wonder if it's even supposed to be a mystery. The only reason I can think, like, yeah. So Simon puts on this
water tastes really funny.
Simon puts on this grand show, and like, I know the unintentionally funny thing about this is maybe it's intentional. Simon really wants this to be like this big special thing, and like, just nobody gets what he's doing
or cares.
Yeah, nobody cares.
It's like, Simon, like, no one really likes you in this room. No one knows what you're doing.
No one likes you in any room.
Yeah,
you're hated. You know, don't do us any favors, but like, chug that cup, Simon. And so Simon chugs that cup, and he immediately goes into anaphylactic shock. Simon famously has a peanut allergy. So his throat closes, his eyes bug, and the kids panic, and they start looking around for an EpiPen. Cooper, funnily, thinks he's looking for a ballpoint pen.
like Nate's going to give him a trach. He's going to cut open his fucking throat and start breathing.
Yeah, and then Nate's like, no, an EpiPen, you idiot. So they tear open Simon's backpack, and they're like, where's your EpiPen, you dumbass? And then they go to like the first aid kit, and there's no EpiPen in the first aid kit.
Yeah,
and
they
then
run to the nurse's office.
teacher comes in, and the teacher is like, "Oh my God, we're losing one."
Oh shit! If anyone asks,
there's like one thing you're not allowed to do as a teacher, and it's let one of them die. Oh my God. Okay.
All right. If anyone asks, I was in the room the entire time, and one of you attacked me. Okay.
Yeah. And so the teachers they run down to the nurse's office. They're like, "Get an EpiPen from the." There's no EpiPens in the nurse's office. Somebody took all the EpiPens from the nurse's office. And now things are getting a bit sus. But they call the ambulance and they're like, "Just stay with us, Simon. Just stay with us." And Simon's looking around, clutching at students, thinking, maybe like didn't realize this was going to take so long and be so uncomfortable. And I'm kind of having second thoughts about my grand gesture. And then he dies.
Got him. And they're like, "Well, that's a wrap, everyone. That's kind of weird, but, well, let's all just go home. Like, fuck that guy, am I right?"
Yeah, that's literally what they do. They all just go home. They watch a kid die, and then they go home. Cooper escorts Addie to the arms of her boyfriend, because we'll find out that Cooper is like a legendary gentleman.
Yeah.
Cooper is just the goodest boy. Suspiciously good. What's he hiding? And then the rest of the book the rest of the book proceeds by giving us rotating chapters from each of the Bayside Four's perspectives.
Yeah.
I don't know how much detail you want to go into in each of the characters.
Detail. So much detail, Ben. How about you pick two to summarize, I'll pick two to summarize. We'll just rotate back and forth like the book, because that's what we do here on this podcast.
Okay, you start. You start. I'll follow your lead.
All right. Do you have a preference on who I take?
I don't give a shit.
All right. I'll do Addie. So Addie...
Surprising choice.
Yeah, you thought I would take Nate.
I did think you would take Nate. I thought you had a leather jacket prepared, especially for the situation.
Oh, so Addie is... She's got a sister, Ashton. She's got a mom whose name I don't remember. Her mom sucks. Mom has ingrained this, you have to find a good man and settle down with him before you're all used up. You gotta find that guy, and you gotta ride it all the way to glory, because you'll never be happy if you're alone. Her mom is just really not a great parent. Checking out a lot, clearly trying to, like, hit on her boyfriend, Jake. It's like, he's underage, right? Right, Mom? Like, please stop. This is weird. And Addie's, like, super, super concerned because, like, Jake is everything to her. And he's just like Mr. Good as well. He and Cooper, they're like the goodest good guys who ever gooded a good. And like, Addie's not so good, Ben, because she's got this secret. And if Jake ever
Did she cheat on Jake?
Oh my God, Ben, how did you immediately guess exactly?
At some point in the book, is she going to drastically cut off her long hair to signify that she's done with that life?
Like, obviously, yeah, she's going to do that because her mom likes that hair, but she doesn't like that hair.
No, she's going to do that because that's what every girl with long hair does when she's going to make a change.
Well, also, like, that would be concerning because you're making, like, a grand change, and, like, sometimes that's a sign of, like, imminent suicidal ideation. Whatever. She's fine because...
Every 10 months I cut all my hair off.
Yeah.
Are you saying I have a problem?
I mean... I'm not saying you don't have a problem. She starts getting closer gradually to her sister. Her sister's marriage is on the rocks. Her sister married a guy who went through law school and then decided he wanted to do like rock climbing or some stupid bullshit where that guy would have like an accident on his rock climbing adventure. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to collect your life insurance, pal, you dick. Anyway,
Okay.
Addie gets closer to her, and Addie, like, the cops are just, like, they're really harassing all four of them, and they're like, hey, we found this post that Simon was going to post that you were cheating on Jake. And she was like, I gotta tell him. And she tells him.
That's an interesting plot point for all the characters, is that initially Simon's death is treated as an accident, but Simon's parents insist that they open an investigation, and Simon's parents are really going to probably wish they hadn't done that.
Yeah.
By the end of the book.
Yeah.
And we find out that each of the four who is in the room has never been featured on what the hell is the app called?
About that.
Oh, about that. That's the best he had. Okay.
That was the best he had. Maybe that's why he's not popular. He's an uncreative douche.
Yeah, Simon sucks.
Simon's a piece of shit.
Yeah. So they find out that each of those kids who had never been featured on About That before was about to be featured on About That, giving each of them a motive to kill Simon, unless, like Words About Books, Simon schedules his posts to go live at a given time, whether he's alive or dead.
Yeah, I kind of figured that he would.
If I die suddenly, you're going to get at least one more creepy episode from Beyond the Grave. So you keep that in mind.
I thought that he would have timed all of his posts, and he didn't need, spoiler alert, an accomplice. Oh my god. But
it's suspicious. Like, if another thing that's going to come up with all the kids, I'm sorry I'm interrupting your Addie conversation, but this is going to be relevant and I don't want to repeat it. The cops suck. They're like really bad cops. They're really bad at what they do.
Yeah.
They're not going to ask a lot of questions.
It's weird
except
because,
did you do it and why did you do it?
Yeah, they don't follow any other lead because they can't be asked, but they can harass these four because they're like really hoping they can get one of them to turn on the other three.
Which isn't a terrible initial strategy. But when that doesn't work,
you can't keep using it.
Yeah, then it just makes it look like you don't have anything.
Which they don't, ever. They keep bringing in, like, is there something you want to say now that I uncovered this new thing on Tumblr? And,
This is advice from Detective Ben. If a cop ever tells you, this is your last chance to tell us something because it's going to go bad for you if we find out you were lying to us, get a lawyer.
Yeah, the thing you need to tell them next is, I want a lawyer and I'm not going to answer.
I just want a lawyer to tell me that this is in fact my last chance to clear anything up, and it'll go better for me if I confess everything right now. I just need somebody with a law degree to tell me that before I do it, you know?
Yeah. Addie confesses to Jake, and Jake's like, oh my god, I can't believe you and cries, and she's like mentally broken for a bit. And then
he doesn't cry, he punches a wall. I was waiting for him to get violent.
She cries, Ben.
Oh,
Pay
she
attention.
cries. Yeah.
No, he doesn't cry because he's just angry.
Yeah, Jake is the whole time you talk to Jake, you get this like what before she confesses to him.
He's very controlling.
There's an interaction where they're going to the beach at night for like a bonfire. And she comes down, obviously wearing like a hoodie. And he's like, oh, babe, put on something a little more sexy. God, we're not going to like the basement.
We're not going to a funeral. God.
Yeah.
I need to be able to look at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so she has to put on something sexy to go out in like 40-degree weather because that's what Jake wants.
Yeah, so if you're already thinking, like, who could the accomplice be, it's Jake. It's, Jake used to be friends with Simon way back when, and then ditched Simon for Cooper, and
Jake constantly defends the app?
Yeah, Jake is like, well, if people didn't have secrets to hide, they would be fine. This is James Holden, Ben. This is what James S.A. Corey... I hope you are listening to this podcast. I know you already finished the series, The Expanse, but this is what happens in real life when someone is a James Holden and it's like everyone needs to know everyone's secrets. It only gets worse for everyone.
Well, and the thing that Jake is not capable of understanding is that the tighter you grasp, the more slips through your fingers, you know?
Yeah, that was a Star Wars lesson, Jake, but you didn't watch that because you were too busy planning about how you can control a girl's life, you fucking weirdo.
He plans everything. Like, the first time they have sex, he gets a hotel room. I don't know how he got a hotel room. He's 16. But he gets a hotel room, and he decorates
I've seen Home Alone 2.
And like he decorates it with flowers and everything, and it's just like it's weird shit for a 16-year-old guy to be thinking about. Because even Addie is like, oh, I would have liked something more spontaneous, but he went to all that trouble. I guess I have to be impressed. And it's like, well, you're half of this couple. You're allowed to
right?
have an opinion. like Addie, I'm gonna blow your mind here right now. It's like most times in matters of that, the guy will just do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
You got the power there.
You got a lot of power there, yeah.
Yeah. But it's weird that you don't with Jake. Like, it's weird that it's more important to him to be in control of the situation than it is to simply just have the situation, you know? That's the sign of a serial killer. Spoilers, I guess.
She cries a lot, but then her sister kind of helps her get through things. She cuts off her hair. She goes biking again, and eventually she realizes all of her friends were fake, shitty assholes who were the worst people ever. And gradually she starts drifting towards the other Bayview 4. And what else do I want to say? Oh yeah, she has another conversation with Jake, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe I didn't call you here to argue. You did something wrong, Addie. I wanted to know." And she just like gets up and leaves.
Yeah,
it's like
I called you here to watch you squirm. I called you here to savor your misery, and you're not giving that to me.
Yeah, that's makes me think of a friend of mine and what you do with narcissists. You don't give in to that shit. You don't fight them because that's what they want. They want a confrontation, or they want you to get all buddy-buddy with them, or they want to diffuse their uncomfortableness after being called out. And, you just get up and walk away. Like, you're not worth my time later. Thought that was great. Fuck that guy.
So I think that's a good place to pause. I will add one more thing to your Addie story, and that is that Simon had precisely one friend.
Yes.
A goth girl whose name I forget.
Janae, I think.
That's a strange name for a goth girl, but okay.
Well, she didn't change her name yet, but it is Janae. It says a sorta goth girl. So like she's half committing.
She's half goth.
Like she's wearing the black pants and like the chains, but like above the waist is just a normal t-shirt and none of the makeup. Yeah. Or like half the makeup.
Just half her face. Okay. So that girl's she's basically the only one who's upset that Simon's dead. They were very close. And she's been having a really hard time since he died. And Addie is sympathetic towards her, and they start to form an awkward friendship.
Yeah,
we'll leave it at that.
I hear you're crying in that bathroom stall. Do you want some Kleenex and like some wipes or whatever? You want help with your puffy face?
Addie has all the crying girl supplies.
I've been crying a lot in that stall, and like I'm here to help.
But now he has a giant, puffy, inflamed monster face.
So should I go next?
Yeah, you should pick one of the three.
So I'm gonna pick one I think synergizes well with Addie, because there's something I want to discuss about the two of them. Cooper. What was going to be published about Cooper is that he was juicing to get his baseball pitch to be faster. And juicing is something that people care about in baseball in this book.
It's only a problem if you get caught, Ben.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't ask questions you don't want the answers to.
Yeah.
There's a little baseball humor there for anyone who's familiar with the sport. Interestingly enough, though, Cooper swears he did not use performance-enhancing drugs. And for a while, I wasn't sure if I believed him. Because the one thing we know about that is that it only publishes the truth. And Cooper has said that there is one thing Simon might have on him. And when he hears that it's the juice, he's like almost relieved.
Oh, thank God. He just thinks I'm doing steroids. Whew.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a baseball player, so that's fine.
I won't implicate everybody, but there's a lot of money on the line there, and they don't test you every day, you know. But
Gets out of your system pretty quickly. Oh my God, steroids in baseball were banned in 1991, but wasn't tested until 2003.
yeah.
It's like they didn't actually care to find out. Can you imagine?
Anyway, Cooper is not on the juice. His dad had a genius plan to have Cooper purposely pitch slower than he was capable of until his junior year.
Yeah.
When he would go all out. And his dad did not realize that would just make Cooper look suspicious and not like
his
a Super
dad is
Saiyan.
not a very smart person. His dad does not come off as like his dad is not rich, right? His dad's mom, is it his dad's mom or is his mom's mom? I think it's his dad's mom. Yeah, his dad's mom is rich, and his dad's mom is awesome, and his dad's mom is like, yeah, I'm not going to give all my money to that fucking idiot. Look at him. I made smart investments, son. This guy's sitting here trying to force you to be a baseball player. That's his investment. What an idiot.
Well, like, Cooper wants to play baseball.
Oh, yeah.
I think Cooper wants to get an education, too. Like, he doesn't want to play baseball forever. And we find out, and to me, this was, like, super duper obvious, because Cooper is obviously, like, the corn-fed Clark Kent America boy. So he's gay.
What? What?
Yeah.
Oh, my God, Ben. I kind of figured that when he has a girlfriend and he was texting someone else that he loved them, and I was like, they're not going to have two cheating scandals in the same book. There's got to be a twist here, right?
Oh, I was just like, Cooper, yeah, that's his secret. He's gay. Because, like, oh, he's using steroids? Who the hell, who isn't? Like, I could tell you, I've been to the gym. You can take a look around. It's not that hard to be like, hey, what's your cycle, bro? Come on. Like, you know when this 16-year-old kid is just like jacked as shit. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, it's just like the kind of thing that happens in teen dramas. Cooper is the stereotypical male, so to subvert that and add one dimension more to his character, he will be gay.
Oh my God.
Which is not what a stereotypical popular male would be.
But thank God his father is a very understanding man, right? He's not like some raging homophobe or something, right? That would be unfortunate.
Interesting thing about his dad. So Cooper's grandmother will accept Cooper's sexuality without a problem. And Cooper's sexuality is eventually going to come out, obviously,
yeah,
against
it comes
his
out
will.
last, yeah.
Yeah, the cops find out that there was a second encrypted entry about Cooper. And they finally decrypt it, and they're like, hey, Cooper, we know you're gay. And we're going to start asking people a lot of questions about how gay you are.
Yeah, that is what they do.
Yeah. And I think that's illegal. But it's an iffy thing, because if it is a motivation for murder, then you are allowed to ask about it, I think. But yeah, I don't think they had a good enough reason to go into it, and a lot of people agree, and the book gets into that. So Cooper gets outed. Before Cooper got outed, though, he did break up with his girlfriend. His grandmother had a heart-to-heart with Cooper, where she said, look, you're obviously not happy with that girl. It's not fair to her. It's not fair to you. Go be with somebody who makes you happy. And she said she's noticed that Cooper gets a phone call, and whenever he gets a phone call, his face lights up. And so she suspects there's somebody else that makes Cooper happy. Just so happens that the person that makes Cooper happy is Cooper's not just gay. Cooper is like living his best gay life. Cooper is dating a German underwear model.
Yeah. Goddamn, Cooper.
Yeah. Like, I got to imagine that girl he was dating, you see Cooper's boyfriend and you're like, I get it. I'd leave me too. Yeah, Cooper eventually gets outed. It becomes a big deal. A lot of the people that were scouting him don't want to scout him anymore because he's gay. And
yeah, they had no problem with the steroid thing.
No, because everybody in the major league is on steroids. But not everybody in the major league is gay. And to be honest with you, I don't know how much that's changed, especially in baseball. But I don't know how accepting of gay players they are. Yeah, so it ruins Cooper's life. It makes it really bad. And his dad is, of course, homophobic, very homophobic. But I was thinking, because of the high drama of this book, Cooper's dad was going to go full-blown disown you, homophobic. He doesn't go quite that homophobic. He doesn't.
Probably because his mom would get a cane and beat him.
I think that's the case. So Cooper's mom and Cooper's grandma are more cool with it. Cooper's mom is kind of a non-character.
Yeah, I don't even remember her name. I know she's in one or two scenes. She's in the background.
Yeah, but Cooper's grandma has all the money, and Cooper's grandma is not going to let the father disown Cooper, but I also don't think the father wants to disown Cooper. He views this as kind of like a choice Cooper is making that is stupid and inconvenient.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, a very bigoted, incorrect attitude, but it could be worse, and I'm kind of glad that the book didn't go there, because that just makes it so one-sided. Like if Cooper got kicked out of his house or something, this has more realistic drama to me. And I certainly know that gay kids have gotten kicked out of their house after they come out, but it's just not going to the automatic worst possible version of something grounded the book a little bit for me, because there's so much high drama in other regards.
Yeah.
Now, the reason I wanted to talk about Cooper is because Cooper was obviously cheating on his girlfriend with a German underwear model. As hilarious as that is, when you say it like that, yeah.
Yeah, when you say it like that, man.
But his girlfriend sort of forgives him after she realizes what was going on. Not right away, not while he's still social poison, but eventually she tells him she understands. Whereas, of course, Addie has Jake, who is a psychopath. And I read a review that I had to check with a lot of people on, because it gave me a lot of pause. You got the two cheating characters, Cooper and Addie.
Yeah,
and
I think I know where this is going.
Yeah, the review I read said that Addie was demonized for cheating, whereas Cooper was like a saint. And the author was almost accused of slut shaming. And I didn't get that vibe at all.
Didn't get that vibe. And also, welcome to society.
Well,
I feel like a guy can more easily get away with cheating, and that sucks and shouldn't be the case. But it is.
But I don't think the author thought Addie was guiltier than Cooper. I don't think the author, Addie is one of the, if not the most sympathetic characters in the book.
Yes.
Jake's, look, she confesses to Jake about cheating, and if Jake wanted to break up with her because she cheated on him, I would say, you know what, Jake, that's probably wise. You don't want to stay with somebody who cheated on you. But you don't have to, like,
destroy
Hulk out
her life.
And yeah, like, okay, you're 16, dude. It's not like you were married for 30 years and
How
she destroyed
dare
the
you
life.
cheat on me?
Yeah, it's not like she destroyed the life you built together or anything. You know, it's not. You've been dating for a year. You're literally 16.
Jake was like, yeah, my dad cheated on my mom. And then Addie was like, but your parents are still together. He's like, yeah, but it's not the same. Oh, okay, but like they worked it out like adults then. Like they decided they would stay together.
Yeah, and it's painted like Jake's dad is a dick. And he's controlling and he's holding it over the mother's head to this day.
Oh, did the mom cheat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, well...
Yeah.
Apple not falling far from the tree there, huh?
Yeah. Did Addie do a wrong thing? Yeah. But does she deserve to be, like, ultra punished for it? No. I didn't get the vibe that anyone thought Addie, like, she admitted what she did. She apologized.
Maybe
she
they're
tried
saying
to make it right.
because all of her friends abandoned her, but I think that's more because her friends are, like, shit.
Yeah, because the friends are portrayed as terrible people.
Yeah, they were looking for an excuse. Any excuse to shun someone to be an asshole.
And they all did the same shit.
Yes.
That's the other thing, too. It's like all the friends have been on this website, too, for cheating. But, yeah, they're just thanking Christ it wasn't them and doing everything they can to deflect from themselves. Whereas Cooper got more of a pass for cheating, but, like, Cooper was under, you know, that compulsory heterosexuality that American society, especially of the early 2000s that this is enforcing, was, you know, he had
early
to have a
2000s.
girlfriend. He was supposed to have a girlfriend.
Early
I think
2000s.
That's when this is set.
Came out 2017.
Okay. Well, I still think it seems like it takes place in the early 2000s.
I would agree. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I'd agree.
Yeah. But whatever. The point is, Cooper's doing a compulsory heterosexuality, and he did try to break it off with Kaylee, I think.
Yes.
And, you know, they both did the same thing. Cooper got more of a pass on the cheating, less of a pass on the being gay. I don't know. I also heard that, like, Cooper's forced outing is not handled to everyone's satisfaction.
Well, if it upset you, congratulations, that was the point. It was supposed to be upsetting.
I would say, like, look, this is it's a soap opera. Deals with some heavy issues. Forced outing, suicide, murder. Soap operas aren't the best way to educate yourself about those serious topics. And
it's melodramatic.
Yeah, I'd say, take these portrayals with a grain of salt. They're over the top and played for the drama. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit while we were on the Addie Cooper bandwagon. And Cooper does stick up for Addie, by the way.
Yeah.
The whole time he's defending her. And not just because he feels guilty for dating a German underwear model, which I wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
You're up. Who are you picking?
I'll probably pick Nate. These next two are pretty linked.
These next two are also, pretty linked.
And what I also wanted to mention was the reporting once Cooper's outed. There's a guy, Mikhail Powers. Mikhail Powers investigates. It's like, there are these 4 kids, and one of them's a dirty murderer of poor Simon, who was gonna go on to be a super genius man. And then after
Cooper is outed,
it's like, Mikhail Powers investigates. It zooms in on his face. He's just really fucking pissed. And he's like, Simon was a bitch. Cooper is the best person ever. And it's just like an hour of just shoveling shit on Simon's grave.
Yeah, we find out that Mikhail Powers also was the victim of a forced outing, and he sympathizes with Cooper to a perhaps unprofessional level, and completely changes the course of all of his reporting. He does he does have some new information on Simon, though, that may have also changed his mind. But yeah, he was really pissed about that forced outing.
Yeah, a girl did come forward because...
And a 4chan came forward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can talk about the 4chan here in a moment, I guess. Ben, Tumblr's still a thing, I guess?
Tumblr's around.
A thing that isn't just, like, for posting furry stuff, though, right? Like, that's...
I can't say what the culture of Tumblr is.
Okay.
Let me just look at the homepage of Tumblr, the Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
And Snoop Dogg.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what Tumblr's about. I think you're thinking of DashCon or something.
Oh, I might be thinking of DashCon.
I think that was an unofficial Tumblr convention.
I see. But yeah, 4chan's gonna come up. We'll talk about that in a moment. Shit, I forgot what my point was, so I'm just gonna go into Nate now.
Okay.
Nate was busted for dealing the drugs.
The hard stuff.
Yeah. The
Mary
oregano.
Jane. The devil's oregano. He's got that blue marijuana.
Yeah, he's got that queso blanco.
Queso blanco. Does he know Raphael in New York?
So he got busted for drugs once before, but he's still dealing because his dad is a drunk piece of shit who doesn't pay the bills. And all of his lines in the book are him snoring loudly or being drunk. So, okay. He's also got a mom, but his mom is dead, Ben.
Or is she?
Or is she, Ben? So
the last anyone saw his mom, she was joining a commune in Oregon.
And she was going to come by and pick up Nate, and they were going to go together. And she never showed up, Ben. Anyway, so his mom is dead. She's definitely dead. She died in a car accident. Nate, on the other hand, he's still selling those drugs, but now that there's been an increase in police activity on him, he's got to stop it. He's got to stop selling the drugs. He calls all of his contacts. He's like, hey, I'm out. And they're like, okay, that's cool, man.
I respect your decision.
And Nate's like, yeah, I guess maybe I should show up to school sometime. And that's when he hooks up with Bronwyn, because you see, he used to know her from a Catholic school before his mom died, ? And then he saw her again for the first time in that detention room. And Nate is the clear scapegoat here. He's the guy who's done hard time, except he's on probation, so he didn't do hard time. And maybe he got maybe he's dealing in peanut oil, Ben. You don't know.
Oh, that's the hard shit.
Yeah, the hard gourmet peanut oil that it would take to trigger.
You deal gourmet peanut oil, you don't come back from that. There's no such thing as personal use for gourmet peanut oil. They'll charge you with intent to serve.
Nate's story, he hasn't. He gets closer to Bronwyn over time, and they start watching bad movies. He gives her a burner phone. He keeps thinking like, I can't change. I can't be with a girl like that because I'm Nate. But then he learns that he can be with a girl like that despite being Nate.
I was as surprised as anyone.
Yeah. And then everyone else solves the crimes while he eventually gets pinned for the murder.
Nate as a poor guy from the wrong side of the tracks. He's the only one of these kids that does not have a high-priced lawyer. And so for some reason the cops decide he did it.
Yeah. Isn't that weird how that worked out?
Yeah.
He eventually does get a lawyer after he already goes to juvie, because Bronwyn gets a great lawyer who does charity work, and
his mom also comes back from the dead.
Yeah, his mom shows up, and he's like, oh, yeah, so she wasn't actually dead, but I didn't know that she was alive, so, like, she might as well have been dead. And I always wanted to tell you that she was alive, but, like...
Well, I think it was for all he knew she was dead. She's dead to him.
Yeah. But
she
she's
abandoned
like,
him.
I've been sober for a month. And
well, that bodes well.
I've got some good drugs now that make me not a total bipolar wreck.
And he's understandably like, door close.
Yep. And he does slowly meet with her. And he's like, yep, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. But it doesn't drop in this book, Ben.
I mean, it does. He gets arrested.
It doesn't drop with his mom. Let me clarify.
He gets arrested after meeting his mom for lunch. Yeah, I'd say that's a...
Yeah, it's
if
really
I were
weird.
him, I'd feel the shoe a-dropping.
Well, yeah, okay, so he gets that lawyer, and that lawyer doesn't really do much, and but he'll eventually hook up with Addie's sister, and he's a weird guy, but I like him. But going back to Nate,
the lawyer hooks up with Addie's sister.
Yes, obviously, that's what I mean. But as far as Nate goes, someone's like, I just saw Nate dealing drugs from his school locker, and the cops are like, we're on it. That guy doesn't have a lawyer. Let's get him. And they don't find drugs in his locker, but they find Simon's water bottle and a bunch of EpiPens that were not there before. And they're like, well, on one hand, this is like really suspicious. On the other hand, we gotta wrap this case up already, so like book him. And then they search his house, and they're like, I found all this computer equipment that you used to post all those Tumblr posts about how you killed Simon. So, case closed.
Did you happen to notice you didn't find it the first time you searched my unlocked house?
Well, guess what? I also found this note that said, I did it, signed Nate. So, case closed.
I don't even know how to read.
My name isn't even Nate. How do you know it wasn't my dad?
I would be throwing the dad under the bus. Hey, look, there's two people living in this house, and both of them hated Simon, trust me.
So, yeah. Nate spends the rest of the book in juvie until we can wrap up the whole story at the end. So, your turn for Bronwyn. Ben.
Bronwyn.
Benwyn.
Right. Benwyn. So
Benwyn and Nate. This is my dream come true. Don't ruin this for me.
Oh God. Okay, well, don't feel me up in my parents' garage.
You want to watch Godzilla?
No, you got to watch Ringu.
Oh yeah, that's it.
So Bronwyn, like I said, she's the nerd. She's bound for Yale, except like me, she cheated her way through chemistry.
I was thinking of this.
It's a little known fact. I passed chemistry by 0.4 of a point, and my teacher wanted to fail me, but the school made her round up.
Oh, got him.
Yeah. And I have never needed or used chemistry since.
So I had a teacher change halfway through the semester, and the first teacher gave us all the answers to the tests that we didn't do well on, and the second teacher came on and was like, you can redo those tests for credit. And I was like, she doesn't know. Okay. I'm not going to tell her.
Did someone snitch?
No.
Awesome.
I got credit.
Awesome.
This didn't happen in the second semester. I actually had to study.
Well, I neither studied nor cared, and I am doing just fine.
I got an A in chemistry in college. I think that makes up for it.
D's get degrees, my friend.
D's get degrees.
I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm doing quite well financially. I have a good job, and I cheated my way through chemistry and physics.
But you didn't get into Yale, Ben, and that's the important thing.
I didn't get into Yale. No one needs to go to Yale. Fuck Yale. You know who went to Yale? Mark Zuckerberg. No, he went to Harvard. Who went to Yale? I don't even know anyone who went to Yale.
George W. Bush.
George W. Bush went to Yale. That's all you need to know. Fuck Yale.
If you're a single mother with 2 children and you're working hard to put food on your family,
Bronwyn, you're better off. Go to a branch campus of a state university like I did. You'll be fine. So Bronwyn, she cheated in chemistry, but unlike me, she cared if anyone found out. And that's what she was going to get posted about. And so she has to confess to her parents, who are Colombian.
I thought her mom was like white and her dad was Colombia.
Okay. Yeah, it was Colombia. Yeah. So her dad's from Colombia. He's not very thrilled at all to be involved in any kind of criminal activity. He's worked very hard to dodge the most hated stereotype of the Colombian drug lord. And now that, her parents are devastated that she cheated in chemistry.
Yeah, because grades are life, and if you don't get an A in chemistry, are you even worth, like, living? Like,
like I said, I do quite well for myself. I have a podcast.
Yeah, her dad built his own business from scratch.
All right, does he have a podcast? Probably not.
Yeah, I doubt it.
So
fucking loser.
The interesting thing that the cops don't take into account at all is that basically, first off, Nate, his whole thing was like he deals drugs, which everybody knew, and he was on probation
everyone
for.
Knew.
And he's been convicted of.
He's the one who had like the lamest secret because it was like, we know.
Yeah. So then Bronwyn immediately confesses to her parents. Addie immediately confesses to her boyfriend, and Cooper gets there. So Cooper's is a little more intense, but the cops never put together that like the kids, like, they didn't want people to find out, but like, when it became a matter of life and death, they were like, no, I'll just tell my parents, which seems to indicate that they would not have killed to keep that secret.
Yeah, exactly. None of these things were, I need to murder to cover it up. Even Nate's, he could go to jail, but he could also just, like, hide his drugs in his neighbor's shed like he's been doing.
Well, also, Simon never says Nate's name. That's how he gets away with it. He uses initials.
Yeah.
So the cops can't, what are you going to do with that?
They searched his house.
Yeah, they didn't find shit.
Yeah.
She sees Nate. She's a little struck. Nate's very handsome. And this is something you left out of your description of Nate. Nate is a very handsome man.
Handsome bad boy.
He is a fuck boy. Nate is a big old man whore. Nate gets with every girl who comes his way. And
effortlessly.
Effortlessly. He's actually turning them down at a certain point. That's true. So Bronwyn, there's all these reporters there, and Bronwyn needs to get out. And Nate, based on their childhood friendship, he offers to take her on his motorcycle. He takes her home from the initial thing. And after all these motorcycle rides, Bronwyn starts to think, maybe this Nate's not such a bad guy. And then they start talking on the phone. And Nate's really like, he's just a good guy to talk to, and
he defends Cooper when everyone starts mocking Cooper for being gay.
He does. Yeah. He does. Nate is the thief with a heart of gold trope.
Yeah.
And Bronwyn's really falling for it because he's so hot. He also has a lizard. You forgot to mention that. A real lizard.
Yeah, how could I forget that important detail?
So really the bulk of Bronwyn's story is that Bronwyn is falling for Nate. And this is like a star-crossed romance. She's princess, he's pauper. They're from two different worlds. How are they going to make this work?
A sister with leukemia.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Yeah, you better get there.
But the bulk of it is the romance.
Will they or won't they? They will.
Well, can they or can't they? They want to. They both want to, but is the world going to allow it?
I'm a senator.
And the answer is high school doesn't actually care, so yeah.
Yeah, the answer is they probably broke up like 2 years after this because...
No, they broke up and got back together. It's the conclusion.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, again, they're 16.
Yeah,
so...
and 16 is for life, bro.
Bruh. She's got the cancer sister, Maeve. Maeve is an important character. Maeve is cool. I like Maeve. Maeve, she has gotten better, but Bronwyn has always worried about Maeve. Anytime Maeve gets sick, Bronwyn's like super concerned. Maeve, like, immediately she sees this Nate thing going on. Bronwyn's friends are all like, hey, that guy is like really bad pick. And Maeve's just like, I got you. Maeve like covers for him. She's the lookout. Maeve, wingman extraordinaire. Maeve also hates Simon. Maeve never forgot that thing Simon posted about her, and Maeve is going to use her elite hacking skills to crack this case wide open.
I'm not exactly elite hacksaw, but I do consider myself a hacker.
Right.
Maeve does more police work than the entire Bayview department over the course of this book. This is very much the Ashlyn solving the case off screen.
I think she's one of the characters in the next book, Ben.
Yeah, she gets that main character bump in the next book. So Maeve finds a couple of things. Maeve finds that Simon has been very active on 4chan. Not a good look. Not only has he been very active on 4chan, he's been very active on the parts of 4chan that are dark by even 4chan standards. He is active on the school shooter fan club threads. He loves him a school shooting. And his only gripe is that they're getting a little too samey for him.
Yeah.
He wants somebody to do it with a little more pizzazz. Something interesting, maybe. And doesn't that sound an awful lot like what happened, Maeve thinks?
Yeah, and no one else thinks that for a while.
Yeah. And Maeve also hacks into his Tumblr. Again, I assume somebody, used, like, what was the first concert you went to, and then posted a bunch of pictures of themselves and said,
his computer open in the library.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And she just came in and was like, I'm going to take this. Yoink.
Yep. Maeve knows that you can't do this from your house because IP addresses are a thing. So you do it from a public terminal at a library. And and Bronwyn points out, well, you got to type in your library card number. And Maeve's like, well, I duped a child into giving me his library card number. And if the cops come looking for the hacker, they will find a 4-year-old who will remember having talked to me, and it will be pretty easy to trace me from there. But this is the Bayview Police Department we're talking about.
I don't know. It's a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Bayview Police Department.
Bring him in. Might have arrested that 4-year-old. Why'd you do it?
Yeah,
Why'd you do it, little Timmy?
God damn it, they're getting younger and younger.
I don't even know if we have bars small enough to keep this one in. Maeve figures out that there's an encrypted file about Nate. She knows where all the stuff's going. She knows everything the cops know. And she is the one that forwards the 4chan threads to Mikhail Powers. And Mikhail Powers reports on them. And she also is like scheming with Bronwyn and the Bayside 4 to try to solve the crime. Bronwyn started a little, I wanted to say murder club, but it's more of a like...
the lunch club.
We didn't commit murder club.
The meal after breakfast club.
Late night fourth meal in an abandoned...
They do go to an abandoned house. It's
not
abandoned.
It's not yet sold. Yeah.
I've done that before. I've gone inside a house that was being constructed.
Was it your house?
No, it wasn't. It was a nearby house.
Oh my God! Did you wear your leather jacket?
No.
Did you take your motorcycle there?
I did it in broad daylight, too. I could have easily been seen, but I wasn't. It's great.
Wow.
Yeah, I could just live there.
I bet you took a real risk there. You might have had a cop strongly urge you to leave the premises had you gotten caught.
Yeah. I'm a bad boy. Yeah. Real reckless. I'm going to take a shit in the corner and claim this house as my own.
It's big white male energy there.
Goddamn right.
I guess this is about this kind of brings us to the kids start working together. And right when things are sort of starting to get a little too happy, Nate gets arrested for a crime.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Yeah, he had all that stuff just laying around in his locker, and the Bayview police were like, alright.
Good enough.
Put him into the jail cell with the 4-year-old.
So then they have a meeting at a coffee shop, and Cooper brings his German underwear model boyfriend.
Yes, let's do this, Ben. Alright, I've got all these sticky notes, okay? It's of everything that we know, alright? Simon, he was depressed. The 4 of us were in the room that he died in. And also, Simon had a grand gesture before he died. Also, Simon was allergic to peanuts. And also, Simon breathed air. Simon drank water a lot.
Simon killed himself.
Yeah. God damn it. So Chris does just, like, effortlessly solve it. Bronwyn's like, she's got, like, these piles of sticky notes. She's like, yeah, here's literally everything we know about this case. Like, everything we could possibly know. And Chris just, like, looks at it and just stacks up the pile and goes, that's all that's left. Simon's depressed, and he wanted to kill himself and take as many people down with him as possible. Solve the case for you?
Schnitzel.
All right, Ben. So we're gonna take her home, right? After Chris just solved the mystery for us, we gotta break up, and we gotta tackle this problem.
Do you mean split up?
Whatever, man. What the fuck ever. We're gonna split up and search for clues, gang. All right, Addie. Okay, Janae. She hasn't been around school for a little bit. Go figure out why. Cooper, I guess you're going to go with her. And Bronwyn, fuck, I forgot what Bronwyn does. Nate, be in juvie. All right, break. So, what does Bronwyn do in this epic finale?
Bronwyn prepares the list of, like, questions that she's supposed to ask Janae. Bronwyn doesn't really have a role. Like, this cuts to Addie pretty quick.
Yeah, because Addie saves the fucking day.
Do you want to like do another skit? Do you want to be Addie or Janae?
You pick.
I want to be Janae.
I figured you would. All right, I'm ringing the doorbell. Like 6 times. Like, where are you?
You can't be here.
I'm just gonna hug you.
Oh my god. Oh my god, Addie, it's all so fucked up. I can't believe we let it get this far, Addie. Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
What are you talking about?
I did it, Addie. I was the one who framed Nate, but I was supposed to frame you, and it's all Jake's fault. Jake's the one who made me do it. Jake's got a recording of me that he edited to make it sound like it was my idea. It totally wasn't my idea. Just trust me on this one, Addie. It wasn't my idea. But Simon is fucking nuts.
It can't be Jake, though. Can't be Jake.
Oh no, it is. Yeah. So Simon found out like you were cheating on Jake, and Jake was like not cool with that, and so Jake was like, we're gonna get Addie, and it was all Jake's idea. I don't know if I mentioned that. So Simon and Jake, not me. Simon and Jake are all like, Simon's like, I'm gonna kill myself and I'm going to frame all these people, and then I'm going to send a letter a year later to say that I am a super genius boy who ruined these lives, even though a year is probably not long enough to do irreparable damage. And he's really wanted the attention, but
he always seemed to really want attention. That was
yeah. I was supposed to mail this letter, but I couldn't mail this letter. I couldn't mail this letter, and Jake wanted me to frame you. I was supposed to frame you again. Jake wanted that, not me. I wasn't there. You remember that day I was at your house with like a huge backpack and I was acting really weird.
Yeah, I do remember that. I was gonna ask. It was like the last time I saw you too.
Yeah, I was supposed to plant a lot of evidence in your house.
Oh.
I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't. So, I guess I can forgive you if you release all that evidence immediately to the police, like right now. Like, go upstairs and get it. Like, let's do this.
But so Jake, he has this thing that he edited. Edited, where like I'm going along with everything. And he kind of makes it seem like it was my idea, but it wasn't. You know me.
Yeah, no, totally. I definitely know you. We become like best buds. Definitely, like for real, like definitely. And I'm definitely not thinking of a way where I'm gonna like go into the kitchen and get a knife and just like stab you and go get that evidence because we're besties. I would never think or even attempt to do that. So like, you go get that evidence, and we'll get Nate out of juvie, and then we'll figure out a way to get Jake. Do you have any more evidence you can just plant on Jake?
Knock.
Oh,
knock,
shit!
Knock. Yo, goth girl, whose name I forgot again, Janae. It's me, Jake.
All right.
We need to talk about you not framing Addie. I shouldn't say that so loud.
Yeah, I'll just hide in this dining room, and I'll just record on my phone. Just make him loudly proclaim all the crimes he's doing.
All right, Janae. I think that we're gonna have to do a lot of work to get Nate out of jail and Addie into jail. I don't know, Jake. I just feel like maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe it's all gone too far. Maybe we should just get Nate out of jail and not put anyone else in jail. No. We're definitely going to put somebody else. My milkshake brings all the boys to... That's Addie's ringtone. Where are you, Addie?
Fuck, shit, fuck!
And then there is an epic chase. Now, fortunately, Cooper came to drop Addie off. Now, unfortunately, Cooper is the one who sent the fateful text. And so Jake chases Addie into the woods, and Addie's running. She's running with her cycle legs. Now, I'm going to tell you a thing about cycling, because I do cycle and I do run. Fuck you, man. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Ben again.
I exercise. Fuck you.
Moving with his fucking legs.
So there's a big difference in cycle cardio and running cardio. And so she's running, but that difference catches up to her, and she just trips, and she goes ass over tea kettle down a mountain, and she's
down a mountain.
She's pretty fucked up. Jake bashes her head off a goddamn tree or something.
A rock, I think.
Yeah, a rock. So he's basically trying to kill Addie at this point. He's
strangling her now.
Yeah, now he's strangling her.
You brought this on yourself. You cheated on me.
And then Cooper and a bunch of cops come in right as Addie blacks out. But don't worry, she doesn't have brain damage. That's the next paragraph. Despite suffering a series of traumatic injuries that were almost entirely focused on her brain and depriving her brain of oxygen, her brain was okay. She still had her bike helmet on. I forgot to mention. Always wear your helmet, kids. No, so Jake goes to jail. And Janae gets out.
She cheated on me. I didn't do anything.
We saw you bash her head on a rock.
She cheated on me.
You had to have heard the sirens. Why didn't you stop? Do you know how hard it is to go to jail for murder in Bayview? You really, they don't usually make it this easy. So, yeah, Jake winds up in jail.
Janae also gets some sort of lesser punishment.
Janae gets probation.
In exchange for a plea deal.
In exchange for a plea deal to testify against Jake. I don't know where I'm at with the Janae situation. I guess maybe this is my cynical nature. I think the book wants us to take everything Janae says at face value.
Yeah,
that she was in
definitely
fact
does.
coerced.
She was a hapless bystander in this plot to commit suicide and then frame someone for that suicide as if it were a murder. Yeah. I tried to tell... Simon had depression, you see. And
yeah, that's not what depression makes you do.
There's also...
He might have had a couple things.
Well, someone mentioned... like, Simon, I think he really regretted it in the end. Which, first of all, good. Glad that he regretted it as he was slowly dying. And second of all, they're like...
The panic in his eyes is the only thing that makes this bearable.
Yeah, and they were like, well, what would he have done if we were able to get an EpiPen and save him? Maybe his life would have been different. It's like, yeah, maybe he would have actually just gotten a gun and did the school shooting.
Yeah, no, he'd have done it again. He'd have done something worse.
He would have definitely done something that's quicker for him to die. So, yeah, no, glad he's dead. That guy was a fucking asshole.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is in attempting to destroy the lives of all these people, he actually just enabled Cooper to live publicly as the person he is. He set up Bronwyn and Nate, and he freed Addie from an abusive relationship.
If you want to take that narrative, you know, you could say, like, he was a good guy at the end, but...
Oh, no, I'm not saying he's a good guy at the end. Yeah. I'm saying that adds insult to his injury.
Got him.
Of not only
being dead.
was he somebody absolutely deserving of everything he got, but he couldn't even pull off an iota of human misery that he was trying to cause out of it.
And in fact, everyone ran his name through the mud as being a sociopath who ruined people's lives, forced a kid to transfer, and another kid to attempt suicide. So,
but we're going to find out in the sequel, I think there's a copycat.
Yeah, probably. You know what? I don't think this needed a sequel. I get why you would write one.
I didn't like... It all ended very abruptly for me.
It was a happily ever after, Ben. Nate gets out, and he's like, Bronwyn, we can't see each other anymore because I'm a fucking loser. Goodbye. And then Bronwyn hooks up with other guy for a bit, and she's like, this isn't a serious relationship. Fuck this guy. And then Nate shows up and reconciles.
I had Nate. I can't be happy with some fucking mathlete. I need bad boy Nate with his motorcycle and his big lips.
Yeah. And then they hook up again and again and again.
What? I mean, what happens is there's a very touching scene where he goes to her concert and he apologizes for being...
And then there's a epilogue, and they broke up and they got back together. No. There's a second epilogue after the piano recital where they're watching Mikhail Powers. Where are they now? Did you not read that, Ben?
That wasn't in my book.
Oh, my God. Well, let me tell you, Nate broke up with her again, and they got back together, and Addie moved in with her sister. That was part of the epilogue, though, not the second epilogue.
Yeah, I knew that.
Cooper's, he went to the college. He's doing well in college, and it ends with Maeve as the character who's narrating all this, who's like, man, this turned out really well, didn't it? I mean... what could go wrong? And it's like, oh, I see what you did there. Yeah, you... Oh, yeah, and also Lawyer got engaged to Addie's sister.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
I like that for them.
Yeah. She finally got an actual lawyer for a husband. And he's cool. So...
No, it kind of ended... ended abruptly for me.
Yeah, because you didn't get the second epilogue, Ben.
I don't think that should be in an epilogue.
Yeah. Well, that's where you're wrong. So...
I feel like there's a, the rising action, the tension builds to its utmost. There's a falling action. There's a conclusion.
It looks like things in Bayview are finally exactly as they should be. I'm sure they'll stay that way. What could possibly go wrong? The end. The end.
The Yellowstone supervolcano blows. It's now a post-apocalyptic.
The end.
One of us is the God Emperor of Dune. I want to ask you. I've been posting my reviews on the blog and on Instagram. If you want to hear like a straightforward review, which means all of these books after Mortal Instruments, I have a rubric for.
Oh my God. Yeah, let's fucking do it. I love rubricing. I need to be doing that too, but I've got a lot of shit going on the next like month or so. So once things kind of calm down, I'll be good.
You'll rubric harder?
Yeah, I'll rubric harder. Let's see. Let me go pull up the old rubric. Blog.wordsaboutninja. Wordsaboutbooks.ninja.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah. The only reason I wanted to bring out the rubric for this one is because there's so much plot to this one that I don't know if anybody followed what we said. I don't know if anybody's still listening.
Yeah,
but
Ben, they are. We're fucking celebrities. We're D-list internet celebrities, Ben.
I don't even know if we go that high.
We're D- internet celebrities, Ben. It's a passing. D's get degrees, Ben.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm ready. Content and ideas, Ben.
So for me, content and ideas is a 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's clear ideas and plot points are present, but maybe underdeveloped or unoriginal. Where it gets hit here is unoriginal. This is like a by the numbers high school soap opera drama. If you've seen any amount of stuff in this genre, you can kind of guess literally everything that's going to happen. And for a mystery, I don't know if that's great, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that.
I think I'd go with a 4. Ben, what if Breakfast Club, but also death?
I feel like that's also been done. Like, this whole book reminded me of Scream, the movie. You don't have, like, necessarily the same exact archetypes, but you have a lot of them. And it's another one where there's, I guess, a killer trying to create a narrative. And I feel like it's been done. Now,
I think that she was trying to make the characters more three-dimensional. It just took a really long time to get there to develop beyond their stereotype. Ben!
I don't think a 4 is out of the question. I just don't. I literally, from the first, I want to say once each kid had gotten a perspective, I don't know how many chapters that is. Once each kid had gotten a perspective, I knew exactly what was going to happen for the rest of the book. 2
chapters, because it's 2 perspectives per chapter.
The only thing that caught me a little bit off guard was the extent of Jake's involvement.
Yeah, you fucking noob. Although I did think the teacher might have been involved until they started suspecting him. And then I was like, oh, obviously it's not going to be him.
And some of that is like, I think this is a 4 depending on, you know, how early in your young adult mystery journey you come across this. Which for probably the intended audience is, you know, pretty early on. Organization. This is the pacing. This is the framing device.
That one's a little harder. I'm leaning towards a 4.
I gave it a 4.
I think that sometimes the pacing... Yeah, you know what? Actually, I don't think the pacing was ever too slow. I think that...
I was never bored.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of twists and turns. There's a lot of plot points with all 4 kids and Maeve. and some of the side characters. I think she uses a relatively short amount of time. I actually think maybe too short. Like I said, I think it ended a little abruptly for my tastes.
Everyone went into the sunset victorious, except for Simon, who was dead, and Jake, who's in jail. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's a 4. I think it's good. I think there's room for improvement, but more than adequate.
All right, use of language. I don't know. You might convince me higher, but I may go with a 3 here.
I went with a 4, simply because I thought each character did develop a unique voice. I don't know if they were necessarily appropriate. I definitely did get the vibe of adult writing child at some points. But she was able to create distinct characters with distinct personalities and distinct ways of speaking. And I think that's as good as it's going to get. Like, I can tell you, like,
All right,
I always
fair.
wondered when I was a kid why adults couldn't write kids. But now that I've been...
Hey, Daddy-O. You want to go down to the creek and do the four-legged
Stickball.
combo? Stickball. God damn it.
I was going to say, I'm nearing the point where I've been out of school longer than I was in school, so I have completely lost touch. If you ask me how a 6th grader... I just learned what Riz means.
I can tell... What?
Oh, you're worse.
Know.
You're worse than I am.
No, dude, I know what the kids say. They say,
Okay.
night, night, daddy, and I'm like, oh. That's what kids these days say. Mickey Mouse, Elmo, table. She fucking loves... I just got her a plastic little kid table, so she's not in the high chair. She fucking loves it. She goes over, she sits down at the table. It's great.
All right. Personal preference. This is where we get biased.
Yeah. I might do like a 4.5.
I am wondering if this will surprise people based on the way I've discussed the book so far.
You went with a 5?
5.
Oh,
I
okay.
love this shit. Like I said, I knew exactly what was going to happen from chapter 2, but that is because I consume so much of this crap. Like, I love a soap opera, and this was very soap opera-y. I love the whole, like, Romeo and Juliet thing going on with Bronwyn and Nate.
I was shipping them, yeah.
Yeah, no, and even Addie's sister and the lawyer, I like that. I like the German underwear model.
You know what, Ben? I like this book enough. I'll give it a 5 because I do feel like I tend to skew towards the negative on this podcast. So
No.
I'm willing. Yeah, I know that's shocking, but
Shocking.
you know what? I will punch that up to a 5. I'll punch the use of language up to a 4.
This is like everything I wanted the maid to be.
It was much more interesting than the maid.
Oh my god! Even though it was like YA
there was a mystery
trash.
that you could actually solve.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out that like at the end all the kids were like, and I'm glad we got Jake in prison, but in reality, Mrs. Black was in that chemistry room the entire time.
It was a teacher no one ever heard of. The home ec teacher, the only one with access to peanut oil. It's charming. It's fun. It's everything I want from, like, if you're going to write a bad mystery, like if you're not going to go for the Agatha Christie thing, at least write a fun mystery.
Yeah. I would say this is fun, and I liked all the characters, except for Simon, who I wasn't supposed to like, and Jake, who I wasn't supposed to like.
Yeah, all the kids are, like I said, they're tropey, but there's a reason there's tropes. They work. So, recommendation strength.
I'm going to go with a 4. I don't know if I can strongly recommend this to people who aren't in the mood to read YA.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I say 4. If you're open to reading YA, I think you might enjoy it, but it is very, I don't want to say juvenile, but a little immature. It's kind of in a weird spot. It's kind of in a weird, like, I would say like 16 to 25 target demographic, because it's a little too explicit for kids much younger than that. I mean, it varies kid to kid, but you know, these kids have sex and do drugs and stuff, so that's worth noting. I did see reviews from shocked parents who, you know, I guess they're incapable of flipping through a book before they buy it for their children, but there is some weird stuff in there, but overall I think it's good.
It's 80 points on the rubric, so that's pretty high score for Words About Books.
Yeah. I went pretty high on this one. I think I went for 4 stars, like an 80. Yeah. I just wanted to do the rubric for this one because I feel like it's soap opera. It's trashy, but I love it.
I did find it highly enjoyable. Ben,
I think that, yeah.
Take us home. Where can you find all of our shit? Who's funding this? Like, who are those?
Who's responsible?
Who are those amazing people who are funding this craziness?
All right. So, if you want to read our detailed and not intended to be humorous or snarky reviews, you can go to blog.wordsaboutbooks.ninja, where we post those and other articles from time to time. If you want to reach us on social media, we are on Twitter about once a week at WABpod. We're also on Instagram a little bit more frequently at Words About Books Podcast. We have a Discord. You can find the link to that in the show notes or in the description if you're on YouTube. We have an email address if you'd really like to send an email. That's wordsaboutbookspod@gmail.com. And, of course, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/WABpod, where you could join an elite group who I will shout out on every episode. And if they have a project and if they want, I will shout that out too. We have, of course, Spooky Shy. They're on TikTok. That's Shy with a Y, CHY. We have Jamie of the If You Want the Gravy blog. Jamie is doing all kinds of reviews, also all kinds of projects. I heard there's a live play, like right along. They improv a play on the spot. That's interesting. We also have Isekai Sensei Sama of anime podcaster reincarnation.com. He has a podcast called Reincarnated in Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster.
God
damn it, that's
Jesus.
what you're right.
Fuck.
You're right. It's weird because I'm on it.
Yeah, it is weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear about this.
You should. Don't worry, I'll edit it in post. I'll make you sound great.
Oh, good. I trust you.
Hey, it's me, Ben, with Nate's voice. The podcast is That Time I Got Reincarnated in the Same World as an Anime Podcaster. He says it like every episode and he works on the podcast. I mean, I say it every episode and I'm on the podcast, so I don't know how I messed this up. I'm also going to edit and post you maybe confessing to a crime, Ben. Unless you pay me large sums of money, that's going to get out.
Do you already have all the sound bites you need for that, or do I need to give you some unrelated ones where I talk about Laza tigers and my propensity for ordering their attack?
Perfect. Excellent.
Last but not least, John Bierce, a man who does not need to be supported in this podcast, but God damn it, he is. And we love him. We have read his book. We are going to read more of his books. You can find him on Patreon, where he releases short stories. You can, of course, also read his books, the Mage Errant series, and he's got a new one coming out that we're looking forward to, The Rack. So yeah, check out John Bierce. You can find him anywhere better books are sold.
All right, goodbye.
The following is a recording sent to the Bayview Police.
Hey, Ben. How's it going, buddy?
Nate, the bad boy from the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah, sure. Whatever, dude.
And I'm Ben.
Yeah, I know, obviously.
Oh, it's going good. I love our vague book references.
Look, I wanted to talk to you about this whole plan. Don't you think it's gotten a bit out of control? I mean, we framed someone and got them in jail.
I think that's illegal.
Dude, it's super illegal, and I have no idea why you're laughing about it. That is not cool. We just ruined a dude's life.
He is a fuckboy.
Ben, can't you see that this has gone too far? What is this?
A 100+ page, unedited, handwritten manuscript written on the bus where I talk about laws of tigers and my propensity for order in their attack. You're going to be blown away by how brilliant this is.
Ben, that's insane. Have you been doing drugs again? I thought you said you'd quit.
I took a straw, a paper towel, and an entire unopened bottle of Flintstones chewable vitamins down from my cabinet.
I can't believe you got back on that stuff, man, after how hard it was for you to kick it in the first place. But it's okay, man. I'm here for you. We can kick the habit together. You just have to call off the tiger plan. Okay?
Fuck you, Nate. I don't care.
The tigers eat children, Ben.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Ben, you know that this is wrong. This is crazy.
Absolutely fucking insane. Chip in their brains so that they can be remote controlled, but also they need to be trained.
Well, Ben, if this ever comes to light, I just want you to know that I had nothing to do with this plan, and it was all you. And actually, you know what? I'm out. I can't do this anymore.
And then there is an epic chase